Hi, welcome to Film Files. Today I wanted to talk about Companion. So the writer and director of this film is Drew Hancock, and I wasn't sure if this was on him or the actors themselves, but I felt like the performances of the actors who were playing robots, AI characters, were the ones that were the strongest, and the actors that were playing humans were the weak performances in this film. And I found that juxtaposition a little bit strange. Sophie Thatcher did a great job in this film as the lead character, and Lukas Gage did quite a good job as well as the AI companion. I feel like Jack Quaid's performance needs a little bit more work, and it might have been a little bit rushed, but there were a variety of issues I had with his performance. He was good as the weak boyfriend at the beginning of the film, but as the film goes on, his character reveals himself to be more devious, darker, with a scheming type of personality, and that's not really what Jack Quaid brings to the table in this film. It was kind of a weak performance and it wasn't really believable, and he was hamming it up towards the end, and it was almost like a cartoon villain rather than intimidating or a clever or cunning villain. And he didn't do a good job of selling that to me, and I felt like it was a letdown. And there were some other side characters whose performances were truly terrible. Rupert Friend with the terrible Russian accent, and Megan Suri. It was almost hard to watch those characters whenever they came on screen. And as far as the writing and directing goes, I felt like it lacked clarity of vision as to what they want this film to be. This film, it traverses between thriller and an action movie and a chase movie and then back to a thriller, and it doesn't really decide what it wants to be. And I think that's the biggest detriment of this film. If we look at the classic revenge films, I can give you an example of Corley Forgo's Revenge from 2017. You have the main female character who's been wronged in the first act of the film, and then the rest of the film is just her getting revenge. And in that specific film, they go the route of action, which is great. And then you get to see how she gets to extract her revenge on each of the bad characters in the film. But with this film, she gets to escape. And after that, there is a good setup in that scene where she gets to increase her own intelligence. And now we feel like, okay, her character is in control now, and she has the ability to make a variety of different decisions and get her revenge that way. But she ends up making a series of bad decisions and gets caught. And then even the way she gets out at the very end is kind of forced. And I think that's the issue with the writing, and then subsequently with the directing, where we don't really feel like her character is going through the tribulations that we need her to, and that her character is really going to be assertive and move forward the story just from her character's perspective, which is not what happens. She gets lucky quite a few times in this film in order to get this plot to move forward. The easiest example I can give is when Jack Quaid's character, they have her trapped in the beginning. After she's done what they need them to do, they have her tied up. And instead of just powering her down with his voice and removing the mod that Jack Quaid does to the AI, he doesn't power her down, leaves her tied up, which once you power her down, you don't need to tie her up. So the whole element of tying her up really didn't make any sense. And they created a forced situation where Jack Quaid leaves her tied up and leaves the room. This is like a 1970s Bond movie kind of plot hole, which in 2024, or 2025 when this film came out, we should not be making these kind of mistakes anymore as far as plot goes. So I feel like there was not enough effort put into the plot. And this happens a variety of times. Even at the very end, how she gets out of her situation, also similar thing happens, and he doesn't learn from his first mistake. But overall, this film is kind of entertaining with some good performances and some over-the-top performances, but it's a fun watch if you're into thrillers, if you're into contained thrillers, if you're looking for a popcorn film, something to be entertained by, then this would be a film for you. Thank you.